You ever have that feeling that you're just running on an old operating system? You know the way you attack your work or handle your relationships or manage your time? It's just not getting you the same results it used to. It's this super common source of friction, this feeling that our life has moved on, but our strategies are stuck in the past. So how do we update that internal playbook? Let's dive in.
So, let me just ask you, straight up, is your life's playbook outdated? I know, it's a tough question to answer honestly. That playbook, it probably served you incredibly well for a really long time. But here's the thing, what got you here isn't necessarily going to get you there.
So in this explainer, we're going to go on a little 4-part journey. We'll start by figuring out why our lives outgrow our strategies in the first place. Then we'll get real about the psychology that keeps us stuck. After that, we'll tap into the real power of adapting. And finally, we'll map out a practical path to actually make a change.
First up, understanding when your life evolves past your current strategy. You know, a great way to think about this is a growing mismatch between your map and your territory. Your map? That's your old strategy, the one you know like the back of your hand. But the territory, the actual landscape of your life, oh, it has totally changed.
In this mismatch, it's usually sparked by one of 3 things. First, you've got the predictable life stages. You know, starting a career, becoming a parent, getting older. Then there are the sudden ruptures, like an unexpected job loss, an illness, some kind of major crisis that just makes your old map instantly useless. And third, there's a much quieter trigger, internal maturation. This is when your values, your priorities, they just shift from the inside, almost without you even noticing it first.
And here is a perfect classic example of that contrast. In your 20s, the best strategy might be to say yes to everything, right? To work those long hours, to learn, to experiment. It's a fantastic investment. But you try that same strategy in your 40s, maybe with a family, with totally different responsibilities, and it is a recipe for burnout. Your energy is scattered, your time is way more limited, and you've got to optimize for focused impact, not just sheer hours on the clock. Okay, so if the mismatch is so obvious, why is it so ridiculously hard to change course? Well, that brings us right into the psychology of our own resistance. And it turns out the reasons we stay stuck are rooted in some really deep, really powerful parts of who we are.
We're usually up against 4 major psychological barriers. First, there's identity attachment. Our strategies literally feel like a part of us. Second is the sunk cost fallacy, which is a cognitive trap we're going to unpack in a second. Third is just that simple, powerful fear of the unknown. And finally, you've got social resistance, pushback from people who are just really used to the old you.
Let's just zoom in on this one, because it is a huge trap. The sunk cost fallacy is that little voice in your head that whispers, hey, I've already put